Jason Mclntyre's his name. Started the big lead, then moved on to bigger and better stuff. Fox Sports Radio, now FS1. Lock it in. And we do a segment every Friday. Now, last hour of the show today, we're on somewhere. I don't know where we're on. But right now, we got him on, and we do it's called Tomorrow's Headlines Today. You're a former newspaper guy.
Oh,
yeah.
Thank goodness those days are over.
Yeah. So will the Cowboys give Zeke contract demands?
Okay, Colin, I know you've been banging this drum a lot. I believe when the Zeke deal gets done, the headline will be Zeke, and you shall find. Colin, you're doing a great job of cherry picking your Dak versus Zeke stuff. And I want to hammer this home. I had the guys build out this graphic for you, okay? What happens when Ezekiel Elliott doesn't play and Dak is at quarterback? Have you looked into this at all?
I've been very busy lately.
Yeah, Dak is struggling mightily. Look at these numbers with Zeke and without him. Dak Prescott's completion percentage down. Look at the interceptions. 10 in 8 games because he's forcing the ball. Zeke is a 3-down back. They need him. All of Dak's stats are down without Ezekiel Elliott. I understand you don't want to pay the running backs, and Zeke has had some
2 years left on his contract.
Again, hey, blame Le'Veon Bell. This is the guy who started the trend of, pay me or I'm going to sit out. We're seeing it with Melvin Gordon, who we'll get to. I just firmly believe Zeke is more important to this offense than Dak. You take Zeke out of here. What are you going to do? Where are you filling that hole? 3 downs. Zeke is in there blocking, receiving, rushing. What do you do?
I pay Dak. I pay Amari. I pay DeLawrence. I pay Byron Jones. I pay Jalen Smith.
So you want to pay everybody except the guy who's led the league in rushing 2 of the last 3 years.
I don't like these judicial situations every offseason. It's nonsense.
Yeah, so what happened in the playoff game against the Rams? They gave up like 250 yards rushing to C.J. Anderson and Gurley. I mean, look at these stats. Zeke, by the way, in the first 3 seasons has more rushing yards than any Cowboy ever.
Yeah.
Destroyed Emmitt Smith, crushed Tony Dorsett. Like, it's not even close.
Those guys didn't have the best offensive line in football.
Okay, so you think you could just plug in anybody?
I'm not saying anybody is a big gap, but you could plug in a B guy and he would be an A- guy with that line.
I'll put you on the spot. Are they a playoff team this season if Ezekiel Elliott does not play one snap?
I don't know if they're a playoff team with him.
Let's
Philadelphia's winning the division.
They are. That's true.
I don't know if they're not making the playoffs with him.
Wow, not on the playoffs.
I think they're Cleveland. Ooh. They're a bubble team. Could. It just depends on injuries.
Jerry Jones is going to be lighting up your phone shortly.
All right, well, the Cleveland Browns live up to the hype. Tomorrow's headlines today.
We are on the same page with this one. I believe, Colin, by the end of the season, the headline in Cleveland will be what Brown can't do for you. Your buddy Odell Beckham lighting up social media this week, right? All those awesome catches.
Yeah.
You do realize the Cleveland Browns are starting a rookie cornerback and a second-year cornerback in Denzel Ward. That's a young secondary facing Ben Roethlisberger twice. And Andy Dalton's pretty good.
And their offensive line.
The offensive line,
is not good, and their tackles are considered probably the worst pair in the league.
And here's a fun stat about that defense that, did pick up Sheldon Richardson, Olivier Vernon. They missed the most tackles in the NFL last year, according to Pro Football Focus. They just can't tackle, and then you can't cover in the secondary. It's a lot on Baker Mayfield. Colin, I do also want to add, there's this kind of vibe that you can microwave a Super Bowl by adding Odell Beckham and Sheldon Richardson and Kareem Hunt. The Cleveland Cavs got LeBron in the draft, and everybody's like, oh, we're going to the finals. We're going to win titles. How long did it take Cleveland to get a title with LeBron? 2003 to 2016. 13 years.
Takes time.
You're not going to go from 1-15 and 0-16 to all of a sudden winning a Super Bowl. I personally believe, like you, they're a bubble playoff team. The talent's there. I just don't think they're ready for the playoffs.
Will the Patriots continue dominating the AFC? Tomorrow's headlines today.
New England fans love me because my allegiance is to the Jets. I believe the headline in New England will be Brady Bunch of losses.
Oh, Lord.
Listen, we're going to do something later in the show that's going to be fun about Belichick. But I do believe there are going to be issues in New England. Now, we say this every year, right? They're going to start slow because Belichick doesn't care too much about the month of September. It's like an extended preseason. But, Colin, when you look at this team defensively, who's getting to the quarterback? They lost Trey Flowers, led them in sacks. But monster on the defensive line.
They led the NFL last year in pressures. They don't get sacks. They get pressures, which often lead to interceptions. I'm not too caught up on their sack totals.
Okay, fair enough. Are you caught up on the Rob Gronkowski hole? You go from the greatest tight end in NFL history to we don't know what we're doing at tight end. They have no clue what they're doing, lining up next to their left tackle, who's basically a rookie out of Georgia. He missed last year with
Any team in that division you like sneaking up?
New York Jets. I listen, we're going to do plenty on them in the month of August after I take a little vacation here. But I'm telling you, the New York Jets are loaded. The Patriots are going to struggle at times this year. Listen, Josh Gordon last year, you know how good he was for them middle of the season, weeks 8 through 14. He was one of the best receivers in the league.
Yeah, he had a good stretch.
He's gone. He's gone. And I just believe at tight end, at receiver, pass rusher, there are some questions. And how did Tom Brady perform in the playoffs? Do you remember?
Let's move on.
Yeah, he wasn't very sharp. He did win the Super Bowl. He made one pass to Gronkowski.
Tomorrow's headlines today. How will the Chargers handle Melvin Gordon's holdout?
Yeah, the Phillip Rivers news today. I mean, that's not good. Phillip Rivers just chiming in on Melvin Gordon. And the headline in Los Angeles will be discharged. A little graphic. Hope we don't take some heat for that. But Phillip Rivers came out basically today and said, Melvin Gordon's great. And, we'd love to have him, but we've got a great stable of running backs.
I know, he just played that bite. He was kind of not dismissive, but it was like, we got a bunch of dudes.
He did a better job than Baker Mayfield did with Duke Johnson.
Well, he made it personal.
Yes. Baker
Didn't he say, like...
Yeah, get in here and, get over it or whatever.
Yeah.
Phillip Rivers is a pro. He's a veteran. He's a Hall of Famer. And he said it well, and I feel bad. I can't stress this enough. I feel bad for Melvin Gordon. He's in a tough spot. These running backs, they take a pounding, they drive you into the ground, and then they just discard you. And discharged is the headline. They're probably going to open the season without him unless Melvin Gordon tucks tail and comes back to the team. I still think they're a Super Bowl contender without him.
I will say this. I think with him, they win the division this year.
I would agree with that. But without him last year, 4-0, and they average 27 points per game. I mean, Keenan Allen is much more important. Look at the depth at running back. Austin Eckler, obviously very good. Well, I like the kid Justin Jackson as well.
Yeah, I think he's a Northwestern kid.
Yes.
Chargers have done, I know they're GM, they've done a really good job drafting. The Colts and the Chargers draft really, really well.
Add the Eagles to that list as well.
Some teams are just really good on draft. Patriots, by the way, do not qualify as one of the great drafting teams. They don't.
Do not. Yeah.
Chargers do, Colts do, Eagles do. All right, by the way, he'll come on at the end of the show. We're going to do rejected headlines. These are the best of the best. There's some stinkers, and we'll show you some of the all-time worst with Jason McIntyre. Plus, we got some Cowboy stuff. Cowboy Camp, we're going there next. Do not go anywhere. Dallas Cowboy Camp. You can hear us on XM, Sirius, Fox Sports Radio, iHeartRadio, everything next.